There are a few things more annoying than the freaking BP system in this game, because ain't no reason why I should be going into an urgent quest with some kibbity bobbity missing freaking multiple arguments. Bro, what is going on? But first, be sure to like, subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Thank you very much. The age-old tale of the BP system. Now, the BP system, for those who are not aware, is this little number that you get here in the top left of your screen whenever you gear up and add arguments, and it's what's required to enter into certain things. So as you will see here, such as this will need a certain BP that's here higher right there above 184 BP, so everything has this. Urgent quests have it, all the above have it. But one thing that we know is that the BP system is completely freaking, let's for lack of better words, garbage. Because it doesn't actually, is not efficiently placed in their numbers that's really representative of what you should be having while running these things. Like, there is no reason, there is no excuse, there's no possible in any world, realm, universe, or galaxy, or freaking Earth 2.2132 of we're playing the Avengers or something. There is no scenario where I should queue into an urgent quest of Darkfall's Vial, and there are 3 people in my urgent quest, one of which has a Zover. A Zover. How do you even have a Zover? They literally give you free weapons in the epics. How do you have a Zover? You literally downgrade it. You intentionally downgrade it from the free weapon. And you had a Zover. You had it over, and then they were missing 2 augments. It was leveled up to 90, so there was 2 empty slots. Like, you could have put something on that, hell, if you wanted to, but you instead just had 2 empty augment slots, and it wasn't over. And then there's other people who just go in here and just have this, this free weapon and the free gear, the Deckham, and they were missing augments too. How do you, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And so that brings me here. Quite frankly, we need some sort of extreme mode. Now, extreme mode is something that could really benefit. Now, there's pros and cons to this, but extreme mode could be something that is more so, at least they don't want to tackle the BP system. It could be something that is more so, it's more stringent on where your BP needs to be at. Like, if the max BP in the game currently is 44 or 77, which it's probably a bit higher. I have an acrocilia, but it's probably maybe a bit higher, maybe. But if it's like that, then maybe it should be like 20 points below, or 10, or like something like really stringent, and where the extreme mode will give you higher drop rates or some extra items in there and stuff like that. So there's an incentive. Because otherwise you get stuck, in the normal queues where everyone wants to just half-ass, where everyone just wants to not gear, where everyone just, where everyone who feels selfish and entitled can stay in there. And then, if you get tired of being, if you keep on getting, placed with the selfish and entitled people who like to go AFK, and we'll talk on that too, then, if you get tired of that, then you will have incentive to gear up. Not only will you have incentive because of that, but you'll have incentive because there will be better drop rates within the extreme mode as well. Let me circle back around to the AFK thing. This is happening as well. I was in Vial just yesterday. I go into a Vial urgent quest, and there's someone in there who was just flat out AFKing. They ain't even there. And I kind of course, whenever I see this, I always openly address it. I'll be like, hey, so I type their name out. Hey, so. Are you going to participate with us, or are you going to AFK at least the whole time? Ironically, someone else responded, but they responded as if they were them. Because they responded, oh, actually, I can't see anything on the screen. But the person who said that was already engaged into the fight. Obviously, you see what that probably was. The person was probably dual boxing, let's be completely honest, and they didn't realize that they typed on the wrong character. Oops. Nonetheless, I reported that person and I dipped out. Yes, I left the urgent quest. I will leave urgent quests when people do stuff like that. You know why I will leave urgent quests? And look, I don't promote leaving an urgent quests. I don't promote leaving quests. However, in situations like these, do not enable this behavior. And I am not going to enable that behavior. Plain and simple. And you might be like, well, Spike, that's rude. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Well, look at it like this. This individual does not respect anyone else's time. Plain and simple. They don't. They don't respect anyone else's time. They're selfish. They're entitled. So as a result, why, for what reason should you be respecting them, their time? You shouldn't, quite frankly, because it goes both ways. Quite frankly, it goes both ways. So you shouldn't. And the fact of the matter is that you should not enable this behavior. If you see this behavior, you should report it. If they are blatantly AFKing in an urgent quest, you should report it. 100%. And if you want to leave the urgent quest when you see this happening, if they're blatantly doing it, state it so that way people know that that's why you're leaving the urgent quest. And like, dude, like if I see this happen and someone sees it before I do, and they're like, hey, this person's AFKing, and then they opt to leave, I am not even upset with it at all. At all. Because that is grounds to leave. And then you just leave them in there. Now they're sitting there. And it's going to take them long, or it's going to take them a minute to realize that, oh, well, no one's in here. Now it's going to take them 30 minutes to do it. Let them waste their time. Don't let them waste yours. You feel me? But nonetheless, extreme mode would kind of help with this. However, I do see that there are pros and cons to this because obviously, you know, for a newer player starting out, you would pretty much just exclusively be getting paired with the people who are lazy and entitled and selfish and don't want to put in any effort or any work. So obviously that could be an issue. But there's ways I guess there's ways to circumvent that. But nonetheless, not everyone's going to be like that. Right. So, I mean, there's still going to be people in there. It's going to take you longer, obviously. But even still, it's more incentive to get to gear up. Because let's face it, gearing in this game is not hard. Realistically speaking, getting one weapon to max to like that BP standard is not difficult. Let's be completely honest here. This game is so extremely easy to gear by a ridiculous amount, and the amount that they hand out to you is literally stupid at how easy it is to gear in this game, especially compared to what it used to be a couple of years back. This game is super easy. That's why it baffles me when I see things like this, because it's like you have to go out of your own way to make this difficult for yourself and for everyone else around you. Like you have to literally put in effort and try to not be at least decently geared, to not, you know, put forth some effort to go in and just AFK. The crazy thing too, though, is that this will probably never be resolved because fact of the matter is that this is a global issue. You are not going to see stuff like this on JP side. Plain and simple. You will possibly see stuff like this in Ship 2 because Ship 2 is the foreign ship, which JP players obviously avoid. It's always been the case. Ship 2 has always been known as the foreigner ship in PSO. Ship 2 goes way back. Before PSO2, it's always been Ship 2. Remember, I imported PSO version 2 on Dreamcast, PSO episode 1 and 2 on GameCube. Ship 2 has always been the foreigner ship. And it is very well known that Japanese players, especially now, will always tell their fellow peers, hey, Ship 2 is the foreigner ship. So avoid this ship unless you want a more foreigner experience. And you know, foreigner experience pretty much just means laziness, drama, all the above in that regard. That's pretty much this nice way of saying it, pretty much. So obviously because of this, because it doesn't really happen on JP side, pretty much means that they're not really ever going to look at it. So realistically speaking, this will probably never be addressed because it's not something that is rarely occurring on JP side. This is a global side issue because let's face it, there's a lot of lazy people, a lot of entitled people on global side. You know what I'm saying? That's just the fact of the matter. Fact of the matter. Nonetheless, this is an issue that needs to be addressed because there's no reason why you should be going into these urgent quests with these BP caps. And somehow, I have no idea how someone gets in with a Zover with 2 augment slots missing. That makes no sense to me. That tells you that the BP system is broken. That tells you it's broken. I mean, it's been broken. We all know that. But I mean, it's like, that should not even be possible. And of course, you see stuff like this. And obviously, if they're doing this, it obviously means that their Mars has no stats on it. They have not leveled up anything on that skill tree for the Mars. For sure. Absolutely. So that Mars phase is going to take even longer as well. You can't really carry in that Mars phase. Like everyone has to contribute in that Mars phase for it to go at a reasonable pace. You know, so it's just a pain in the rear, and it's a global thing. It's a global thing that happens, and it's unfortunate that the community's like that. And I wish that society could get better, could be better, could have more of a sense of self awareness, just self freaking like I don't know, man. I don't know. But nonetheless, BP extreme mode. Obviously the BP is probably never going to get addressed. Maybe we can hope for some sort of extreme mode. I don't know, but it really would help on global side tremendously, and it would really weed out the people who just want to pretty much not contribute. Because there's a lot of people on this game who really like to play the game and like to play at higher levels. And then there's people on this game who just are so caught up in themselves, are so selfish, have just been entitled their whole life, probably silver spoon babies. You know what I'm saying? Who just do not care about their impact on others around them, do not have any self-awareness, do not understand the concept of goals, probably. It's just a bad look. But nonetheless, extreme mode would help very much so. But I'm just talking here. Probably we'll never see this, and this will probably be something that plays the game for a long time. And it's unfortunate that that's the case because it ruins the playing experience. Very much so, very heavily, and hopefully, they continue to be more strict against this. Remember, all this stuff is against TOS. Well, not the low equipping thing. That's just a BP issue. But AFK, that is a bannable offense to do that. You're obstructing. You're ruining the playing experience of others. That is literally within the TOS under nuisance behaviors. You can find it under the TOS. So, at any rate, be sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Holla.
Spike to content.